The world's benchmark Chardonnays come from Burgundy, and these wines are so fascinating because they can clearly convey the characteristics of the region or even the specific vineyard where the grapes are grown. Hi, I'm Bruce Sanderson. I'm Senior Editor and Tasting Director at Wine Spectator, and joining me today is Margaret Raber, one of our Assistant Tasting Coordinators in the New York office.
Tasting is a great part of my job, and I love white Burgundy. Both these wines are 100% Chardonnay, like all white Burgundies, and from the 2008 vintage.
They also come from vineyards around the village of Pouligny-Montrachet, which is located in the Côte de Beaune. But these wines have different characteristics because they are from different areas or appellations. The first wine is a Bourgogne Blanc. Bourgogne means that the grapes can come from anywhere in the Burgundy region, though this wine is a blend of parcels from around the Pouligny-Montrachet village.
This is a 2008 Bourgogne from Domaine Leflaive. What would you expect from a Bourgogne level wine?
Bourgogne should be a solid introduction to the general flavors of white Burgundy. Let's give it a swirl and a taste.
It smells like citrus and apple.
Those are typical aromas for Chardonnay from a cooler climate like Burgundy. I also get a hint of mineral, which is derived from the limestone and clay soils. And for me, it's this mineral component that distinguishes white Burgundy from Chardonnays grown in other areas.
I see what you mean. How would you describe that mineral flavor?
I think there are different kinds of mineral flavors, but for me in this wine, it's like a clear mountain stream running over rocks.
This wine is also really rich.
Chardonnay is capable of making full-bodied fleshy wines, especially when the yields are kept low, so the wines are more concentrated and also they're better capable of transmitting the terroir. You'll also notice that on the finish, there's a crisp acidity that provides a firm backbone to the fruit.
So the Leflaive Bourgogne has all the typical characteristics of a well-made white Bourgogne. Citrus, apple fruit, minerality, plus concentration and acidity.
That's a good definition of a Bourgogne. But at $56, this is expensive for an everyday white, but it is one of the best Bourgognes available. Most are $30 or less. Now the second wine is a Premier Cru, meaning it comes from a single highly rated vineyard. It's the Etienne Sauzet Pouligny-Montrachet Hameau de Blagny 2008, and Hameau de Blagny is the name of the vineyard.
The aromas are a lot more intense here.
A Premier Cru should have more intensity to the fruit, more concentration, and more complexity. Hameau de Blagny is in a sweet spot. It's higher on the slope, so it has a more interesting mix of soils, better drainage, and better exposure to the sun. This gives the Premier Cru an advantage in that it ripens earlier than the Bourgogne, which comes from lower on the slope where there's deeper soils and a higher percentage of clay.
Sites that ripen earlier provide a more optimal window in case weather takes a turn for the worse. The Premier Cru seems to have more of everything, more concentration, more aroma, and a longer finish.
Exactly. And as a result, it should develop more slowly and over a longer period of time. The Bourgogne is perfect to drink now or up to 3 to 5 years after the vintage. But the Premier Cru has the stuffing to mature gracefully for at least 10 to 12 years, maybe even longer.
Beyond the grapes and the soils and the climate, how important is the winemaker?
Extremely important. The expression of terroir is affected by so many human factors. How the vineyard is farmed, the yields, the sorting of the grapes after picking, the maturation in barrel, right through to the bottling.
And the vintage can be a big factor too.
2008 was a relatively cool year. The wines are very precise and elegant, and there's the crisp acidity is offset by this juiciness from the concentration, and the mineral element gives them a savory quality.
Both are from the Pouligny-Montrachet. Is there something about their character that says Pouligny-Montrachet as opposed to another part of the Beaune?
Yes, I find the wines from Pouligny-Montrachet have a steeliness to them, as opposed to, say, their neighboring communes, Meursault, which the wines tend to be richer and more honeyed, or Chassagne-Montrachet to the south. The wines are also richer there and sometimes have a floral or herbaceous characteristic.
So that steeliness leads to this increased acidity?
Yes, that and a precision, a very firm backbone.
The wines definitely have similarities, but they're both so different. This is a great way to learn about terroir.
It's always good to taste wines side by side. And I hope you're inspired to repeat this tasting with a couple of white Burgundies. Cheers.